In Search of Darkness. All killer, no filler.
So if you're a horror fan out there and you haven't heard of In Search of Darkness, the documentary series that's now at 3 parts, they recently came out with the 3rd entry in it, which is 5 hours long, over 5 hours long. And so you have part 1, which I originally watched on Shudder, part 2, which I originally watched on Shudder, and part 3, which I haven't seen yet. So let's go through and unbox these and go through some of the issues that I found, especially with the ordering and all of that process. In Search of Darkness is, at least for the first one and the second one, went through some sort of, let's say, controversy with the whole process with how it was funded and all of that. It was a Kickstarter, a GoFundMe project, and so I paid $120 for this package that came with the Blu-rays, with the slipcovers, and then it also came with this special box that you can fit stuff into, and then it came with a lifetime membership card of In Search of Darkness here, and that's kind of goofy. And then of course it came with a little advert for In Search of Tomorrow Part 2, the sci-fi documentary series. And then of course we're getting In Search of Tomorrow 1990 to 1994, so we're getting the 90s. This is mainly focused on the 80s. But yeah, that's what we're getting here, and they love advertising their stuff. There was some controversy with In Search of Darkness where people either are accusing the filmmakers of basically padding their wallets with donations and stuff, how this doesn't actually take all that much effort. If you watch the documentary, I'm not in tune with all of that. If someone wants to educate me in the comments, go for it. But from the first 2 parts, it seems like it's a pretty in-depth documentary series that takes, you know, a decent amount of preparation and all that, and money. You got to pay these people to be on the documentary. You've got to pay crews. You got to do all of that. So while the first 2 parts might just be a bunch of, you know, footage from the same sets of interviews and stuff like that, it still takes a bit of money to press these things and make them and promote them and all of that. So I'm not, you know, in the know on that. So I'm just judging this based on the stuff that I've gotten in the mail from them. And as far as a, you know, comparison, this box is a bit flimsy compared to other stuff. If we're going to compare it to something like, let's see, it's not a one-to-one comparison, but here's the Halloween 4K box from Scream Factory. And this is a pretty sturdy box here, but it does flex a little bit, but it does feel a bit thicker than that one does. And then, of course, if you're going to compare it to another box, it does fit 3 Blu-rays. We've got the Hellraiser box from Arrow Video here. This one barely flexes and is very thick, and also holds all 3 of the Blu-rays. And now this might be an issue with these because of the slipcovers, but why would I get a slipcover and a special box if the slipcovers don't fit in the special box? That's my biggest issue with this. So here we go. We're going to try to fit all of these in here, and as you can see, I've already tried to do this because I tried doing it when I got the package, but the slipcover doesn't really fit. It fits, but not great. And then, of course, the second movie slipcover fits, but not great. And then you can see that it's bowing and bending there at the bottom. And so that's not great for, you know, keeping these slipcovers nice and pretty. And then, of course, trying to shove the first movie in there, I'm not going to try because it'll mess up the slipcovers. And then, of course, if you get them in there, you know, trying to get it out is a little bit of pain in the butt. These slipcovers also, getting the movies off of them is a pain in the ass. So we've got the slipcover here for In Search of Darkness Part 3, and we'll get to unboxing these and so everybody can look at them and stuff like that. But if you can see, I'm shaking the absolute crap out of this thing, and it's rattling the disc inside. So here's one hand, but if you use one hand, I guess, and you don't put very much pressure on it, but getting these things out is a bit of a pain in the butt, and so you have to shake it out because otherwise you have to bend the whole thing and grab it like this and pull it out. Maybe it'll work better with the shrink wrap off. Let's try it with this other one that I do have the shrink wrap taken off. But yeah, as you can see, well, with this one, it's not even pressurized and I'm having a hard time getting it off. So that's a problem, getting these in and out. Oh, that just bent. Oh, that's bad. Okay, well, let's figure it out. It's not like the Vinegar Syndrome slipcovers here for some of their movies that are impossible to get the discs in and out without destroying the slipcovers. But let's unwrap part 2 here. We're going a little off the cuff here, but you've got In Search of Darkness Part 2 there. This is Part 2, and I know we're going out of order, but whatever. And then we've got the disc, and inside is very nice. Inside, I'm very happy with this. It comes with the disc and some art in the back here. Let's check out this little pamphlet that comes with it, if there's anything in here that I can't show you. But we've got a nice booklet, so that's very awesome to see. So this is definitely a collector's thing. Like, if you just want to watch the documentaries, go subscribe to Shudder and you can check them all out. But that's, you know, I'm happy with this, with this little suite of bonus stuff that we've got here and there. So I'll leave that out of the slipcover so we can check it out. But we'll get part 3 open now. So we've got part 3 right here, which is the brand new one. Just came out, I think, late last year, early this year. And then these obviously shipped out a little bit late because of their distributor and all of that. These don't come with digital codes or anything, but if you want the digital, you can just go subscribe to Shudder and watch them and get all of Shudder's wonderful library. We've got the booklet and all that good stuff here with the checklist. That's very awesome to see in the movie. So if I know a lot of people out there have watched In Search of Darkness and gotten a lot of movie recommendations from it. And so this is absolutely awesome that they have all the movies that they feature. You can have a checklist and watch them. That's great. I love that. So, wow, there's some obscure ones on here. I haven't seen some of these. Wow. But yeah, we've got a special thanks and everything. And so, I don't know, if you're in the mood for a 5-hour documentary about horror movies from the 80s, then you'll love this. And so I can't wait to watch In Search of Darkness Part 3 because I haven't seen it yet. So we'll put that off to the side as well. So we've got Part 1 here open finally, and then you can check out stuff on the back there. Part 1 is great. It's a great way to get in. And of course, the only thing that's a big issue with this with me is that Part 1 is as bare bones as it comes with packaging and everything. You don't even get a reversible cover. You don't get a slip cover. You don't get a booklet. You get a disc with the art on the front of it here, I guess. But that's a bit disappointing about it. But I guess that's what you deal with when you have Part 1 of a documentary series that needed a bunch of funding to get done. So we'll have to see, and then here's the magic moment. Let's see if they all fit inside the slipcover, and they do. They fit really nicely. So I guess if you want to display them like this, there is a little bit of give there in the box so that they might move around a little bit and they don't fit in there as snug as a bug in a rug. But, oh, that's also a little troubling that the last one doesn't seem to fit, but to stay in there as well. But if you're just going to have them on your shelf and you're not going to keep the box, whatever, but they do look nice and uniform on the shelf as well. So there's all 3 of them. But as for the content and everything like that, these are awesome ways to get people into horror movies. In Search of Darkness, through all the controversy and all that kind of stuff, through the issues that I have with some of the packaging here, the content themselves of the documentaries is magnificent. It's fantastic. If you want to waste an entire day of watching, you know, what is this, 3 hours? This one is 4 hours, I believe, 270 minutes. This one's 260 minutes, and then this one is 342 minutes. So if you want to waste an entire day just watching horror documentary stuff, go for it with these 3. You can get it on their Kickstarter still, or whatever it is, GoFundMe. They're coming out with a part 4, I guess, so this box set will be a little bit invalidated by then, because God knows they're going to make another box that has the 4th one, and then when the 5th one comes out, they'll do the same thing. We do it all with these boutique labels. But In Search of Darkness, if you like horror, I'd recommend it. If you don't want to deal with the controversy or don't want to donate money to the people, go watch it on Shudder or something like that. But it's available on Shudder for $5 a month, so go check it out there. As for all the extras and stuff like that, I think with the donation, they get a producer's credit somewhere. I don't even know. It's a little bit contrived with what you get. Like, this whole membership card thing is pretty silly, but it's all about the content of the discs at the end of the day. And that's really what it is. The content is what matters. Content is king here. And so if you love horror movies and you love all this kind of stuff, go check out In Search of Darkness, and, you know, maybe you'll find something you like. I know for Part 3, I'm super excited to watch it, because there's a bunch of movies in there that I've never heard of. Maybe I'll be able to get some more of them on Blu-ray or something like that. But if you like more Blu-ray content or horror movie content like this, check out this video right here.